In our recent video on 4 things the public is not supposed to know, we covered the story of how the electric car has been repeatedly suppressed for over a century. Only recently has this technology begun to emerge from the shadows. But are there other technologies from the past which have been mysteriously hidden or lost? Did ancient civilizations have nanotechnology and miracle cures? Let's find out now by asking the question, did Earth have technology in the past greater than ours today? Number 4. The sound of the spirit. Whether you're old or young, rich or poor, we've all got that one song that just hits us right in the feels. For me, it's Hollaback Girl with Gwen Stefani, because a few times I've been around that track, so I know it's just not going to happen like that. But did you know that the people of ancient Malta may have perfected the art of drawing emotion with sound? And they could have done this over 5,000 years ago. The Hypogeum of Halsaphalene is a huge underground cave system which spans 500 square meters and 3 separate levels of corridors, chambers, and passageways. Many interesting things have been discovered in this underground network, including strange shrines, bizarre artifacts, and the small matter of 7,000 corpses. But the most fascinating part of the Hypogeum is a place called the Oracle Chamber, because the way it has been designed hints at a long-lost technology that enables humans to be manipulated and inspired using specific sounds and frequencies. Any sound made in this room becomes eerily resonant due to the way it has been cut and carved. And when it was first built, we believe that it may have amplified sounds to such a degree that humans could actually feel certain frequencies shifting through their bodies. Experts think that before time took its toll on the Oracle Chamber, that expert craftsmen would have known where to place small incisions in the rock to alter its resonance, and that any sounds performed here would have generated pure emotion in those who heard it. Archaeologists are still trying to piece together how this ancient amplifier worked, and what strange rituals and experiments might have been performed in such a place. But the only thing I'm concerned about is the discovery of the elusive brown note. Let's hope that stays secret for a little while longer. Number 3. Free energy. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant scientist, and his contribution towards the design of our modern alternating current system of electricity means he will be remembered as a pioneer in his field for centuries to come. But Tesla's mind was gifted with far more than mere intelligence, as he was also a committed humanist too. Tesla valued human life over monetary gain. But if he was such a great guy, why didn't he use his genius to create some form of free energy system to power the world? Well, that's the thing. He did, and he may have succeeded too during a project which could have created an early version of the Internet in 1901. Wardenclyffe Tower was the site of a project conducted by Nikola Tesla and funded by J.P. Morgan, whose aim was to construct towers that could transmit messages and telephone calls across the Atlantic. However, Tesla also believed that he could power this technology by drawing electricity from the Earth and its ionosphere, and that he could send and receive signals in this manner too. He even envisaged a wireless communications device which could decode these signals. But when J.P. Morgan discovered Tesla's outlandish proposals, they cut off his funding. Tesla attempted to woo J.P. Morgan back on side with a series of daring experiments, and it is rumored that the strange Tunguska explosion of 1908 may have been due to Tesla's activities in trying to win back his funding. So, was Tesla close to creating a source of free energy and an early communication system? Could we have had the internet decades earlier than we did? Who knows? Upon his death in 1943, the US government seized much of Tesla's research, and the rest was burnt when his lab mysteriously torched. A lot of people stood to lose a lot of money if free energy had been made available. So while we don't know for sure if Tesla knew how to create it, we know for darn certain that some people wouldn't have allowed it to happen anyway. At 2, the Lycurgus Cup. At first glance, this old Roman cup doesn't look like anything special. It's just a regular green goblet with a half-naked dude, a monkey, and some chicks on it. Pretty sweet cup, but hardly a sign of advanced technology. Or is it? Scientists didn't think so until they held the Lycurgus Cup up to the light and saw that it glowed a deep satanic red. And it gets better. When you examine the Lycurgus Cup under a microscope, you can see millions of tiny gold and silver flecks, each one 1,000 times thinner than hair, all embedded deep within the glass. This single object proves that the Romans knew of the existence of super small particles, and that they also held knowledge of how to manipulate them. Basically, the Romans had nanotechnology. How far this knowledge goes is up for debate, but we're almost certain that the Romans knew what they were doing. The cup was made by grinding gold and silver and blending it into the glass. And such a mixture produces some bizarre effects which occur way down on the subatomic level. As well as changing color based on light, you'll also see different hues depending on what liquid you pour into the goblet. In fact, so advanced is this object that modern scientists believe that it is more effective than modern techniques at detecting certain waterborne substances. And this isn't the first time that evidence of ancient nanotechnology techniques have been found. In 1992, a series of weird microscopic copper and tungsten spirals were found within mineral deposits that were between 100,000 and 300,000 years old. These spirals could not have been made by any natural processes, and they were barely visible to the unaided human eye. So was the ancient world blessed with more advanced technology than we know of? Were they smarter than we give them credit for? Or is there another more incredible explanation for these mysteriously advanced technological discoveries? And at number 1, the universal antidote. King Mithridates VI of Pontus was the ruler of a region in modern-day Turkey between 120 and 63 BC, who claimed to have been descendant from Alexander the Great. But Mithridates had no need to dine on his supposed lineage, because he was one of the few rulers to ever achieve consistent success in the fight against the Roman Empire. Obviously, this success made him a target for assassination, and the method he feared the most was through poisoning, because his father, Mithridates V, had himself been a victim. After the death of his dear old dad, Mith VI hid out in the wilderness for 7 years, and during this time he developed immunity to almost every form of poison. He did this by gathering small amounts of every deadly thing he knew of, combining them into a universal antidote of 54 ingredients that was matured for 2 months. This antidote proved incredibly effective, so much so that when Mithridates came to commit suicide after losing a battle, he found that he could not do so using poison, due to the incredible tolerance his antidote had given him, so he had his guard use a sword instead. After his death, many Roman physicians experimented with this universal antidote and improved upon it, discovering that it also helped to ward off any number of poisons, ailments, and other illnesses entirely unrelated to the ingredients it contained. They called this potion Mithridatium, And although we know that it was partly made using chopped vipers and opium, the rest of its contents have been lost to history. So what else might this ancient mixture have contained? Could it really help to boost the human body's immune system? And was it as delicious as that ancient Roman ketchup, whose recipe we've also lost? I would say probably not. But ketchup aside, there's an even more important question which needs to be asked in light of these discoveries. Are there any technologies being developed today which we won't see for decades or perhaps even centuries? Are there some developments which humanity simply isn't ready for? You can find out more about this in our bonus video, Hidden Technology, which you can watch on our Patreon page at patreon.com/strange mysteries. This can be accessed by becoming a Patreon and signing up for a bonus video access at $2 per month, which also allows you to help us decide what videos to make, find out which topics are in the pipeline, and ask the Strange Mysteries team any questions you might have about our work, our lives, or our checkered sexual past. Patreon has become necessary since, amidst the chaos of advertisers ditching YouTube due to a few nasty videos, all other creators like us are having our arms twisted to make ad-friendly content. But we'd rather make videos about the things that interest you, and our ability to do this relies on you. For $2 a month, we can provide awesome bonus content for each video. And eventually, with your support, we can go fully ad-free and dedicate our full videos to just the juiciest ideas packed full of the most mind-blowing content we can find. If you can afford it, our Patreon page can be found at this link here in the upper right with the exclamation mark circle, description box, or you can visit patreon.com/strange mysteries and sign up there. If you cannot donate, then it's cool. We still love you. And we'll continue to provide the best content we can under YouTube's restrictions. As you'll see if you watch our recent video on 4 things people are not supposed to know.